Hello, everybody. Jump scare. Ugh. I haven't looked at myself in the mirror all day today, so who knows how we're doing. Oh, Donica, hi, how are you? We did miss you last week, but that's fine. I don't know if you got caught up or not. There's a lot of gossiping happening. Hi, Mary. Vincent's fixed my microphone. Sorry if it's annoying.
I'm just being picky about it, no worries.
I've been working on this, but I'm still not done with it, so we're continuing that tonight. It's never ending, I think. This pattern is gonna be the death of me. Let's see. I need to finish putting this in the right spot too. How's everyone been? Mary, tell me your update. That's very exciting. Maybe it's not exciting for you. It's exciting for me. 20 things to tighten. Just need to figure out this camera. I've been using the other one all day, so this one's doesn't know what I don't know what it needs. Daniel got his board game today from the board game manufacturer, so he officially has his first homemade board game, which is very exciting. Mary, I'm so sorry someone's into you. What a bummer that is for you. How did you handle letting him down gracefully? Because that's the tricky part, I think. Yeah, Daniel's board game is super cute. If you guys want to see it, you can post it in the Discord. What do I want to do? What do I want to work on? Which color? Maybe it's time to start working on that cat. That sounds more fun than more orange. I'm gonna pull up my pattern. Let's comment him is all. He's a lovely person. That's fine. How did you tell him that though? Because that's I'm bad at that. I was raised by a people pleaser and I'm a people pleaser. So I have a really hard time letting people down. Oh no, he's showing you his favorite movie! That's first date stuff, that's for sure. That is stressful. In college, I feel like I ended up doing that with so many different guys, just like, where I was like, oh yeah, we'll go hang out, and then it was very clear once I got there that they like wanted it to be a date, and like, their friends were all there, like, wingmanning them, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry, I don't know what to do. It's not me. Or it's not you, it's me. Dang. Hi, Binary Rainbow. I haven't seen your name around here. Welcome. If you're working on a craft, let us know what you're working on. We're all working on different things. Donica's been working on some crochet projects. Mary's been working on some cross stitch. Daniel has been designing a video game and a board game. I'm working on this. Let me show you the iPad app is this one. There's my pattern, and it's called Stitchly. It's not super cheap. I think sometimes they have sales. Let me see. I'll show you it's that icon. Oops. It's this icon right here. Oh no. That little... This is so hard to do backwards. That's that little pink X. It's made by like I think it's like a family-owned little business, like a couple or something in the UK that designed it, but I really love it. It's where I build all my patterns that I sell too, because they do really good, really beautiful PDFs for exporting. So that's what I use for this. This is my own pattern, so I'm doing a test stitch. Mary, and he was like, damn, he got me. Yeah, he says to kind of feel out how he feels about a variety of people, and I was the most recent person. That's tricky. Well, it feels like you handled it good. He doesn't seem to me like he's too upset, is what I mean to say. I'm glad that everything kind of worked out, because last week was stressful. For you, not for me, just for you. I am on day 1 of my period, so I've been cramping horribly all day. It's literally just subsiding now. I've like non-stop been dealing with that all day. So I had non-stop work too because I'm doing Inktober. I've been posting shorts on YouTube also, so you might have seen them. But oh my gosh, it's so much work. Like the drawing itself takes like an hour at least, and I've already brainstormed. It's like I already know what I'm doing. I'm just jumping into the drawing. I wanted to do complete drawings. That's why they're not doodles. It's my own fault. It's not like I'm amazing at it. It's just really good practice. And I committed to like posting it so that I have to finish them and I don't get to scribble them out and never look at them again. But yeah, today was like Starbucks all morning until 4 or until 3, and then jumping into Vincent had a lesson and he was recording something, so I was like, I'll just do my drawing really fast during that. So that was like an hour and a half, and then it was 6:30. It's a kind of crazy day. I haven't like had a minute. Donica, that's exciting. Finish your cowl. Pushing up your slouch hat. The best. It is hat season. I mean, not here. Here it's 76 today. But in other places it's hat season. You got this, Mary. You've already, I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like typical dudes who have a crush are a lot harder to communicate with than like best friends who have a crush. Tell me if that's just me. But I just feel like the communication's harder. A lot of them aren't good at expressing their feelings, especially like if they haven't had a lot of girlfriends and stuff. They're just not. They take everything so personally, and you have to be really clear and blunt sometimes. It's tricky. Oh yeah, Mary, I forgot you're working on a sewing project too. I think last time were you working on the bunny last time, or were you already sewing last week? I can't remember, but that's fun. Okay, Binary, tell me what you're working on. You didn't respond. And I'm still here, waiting. With bated breath to know. But anyway, yeah, so I have not had time to work on this very much because I've been doing so much drawing. Okay. And then let's talk about the massive project I accidentally started that Mary, I should honestly share this with you because I know that you draw. Anyone else who draws can have it too. I'll probably just post it in the Discord or something as like a free document. But I was just feeling like I'm so bad at sticking with things just because I have so many things I like to do. So I get really distracted. Actually, I'm gonna keep working on orange. I'm gonna be brave, do the boring thing. But I feel like I'm really committed to working on art. I know I talked about that last week. But I've always been an artist, and I don't have like my own style really. I don't have a really distinct, you don't like look at my art and like be like, that's Emily, you know? Just because I can draw things. So I'm like really, really committed to changing that. I really just want to have more like of my own art in all of my like social media stuff and my business. I have, my Etsy shop that I have like lots of opportunities to have my own original artwork on things and in things. And I'm already doing cross-stitch patterns, so I already have to do graphic design stuff like that. And I really want to do my own enamel pins for needle minders that I make, like custom make from scratch. I have to learn vector art for that. But anyway, so with all of that in mind, I realized we have like ChatGPT, like the $20 a month. Because Vincent uses it all the time for French learning also. It like makes his lesson planning so easy. Earl, Vince, you have to stop him. I can't with the crying.
Oh, I didn't realize he was crying.
Yeah, he's just been meowing and meowing.
Earl.
It's because they're hungry. But it's not quite time to eat yet for their dinner.
Earl.
You could give him a little bit of kibble now and a little bit later. You could do that. That's an option. You could. It's just a little early. They usually don't eat till like 8. Anyway. So I had all that in mind, and I was like, why don't I like try to find some kind of curriculum or something that like self-learning, because I dropped out of college, right? Like I was an illustration major. I had 3 semesters of college, and then I got married and moved to France. So I feel like I fell really far behind my peers really quickly, and I never caught up. And it's what I like. Literally my entire life, all I wanted to be was an artist. It's what I've always wanted to be. So I was like, well, first I was like, I'm gonna do Inktober. So that was the first thing where I was like, I'll draw every day in October. But then the more that I was like doodling thumbnails and stuff, the more I was just like, I am really rusty on like a lot of things, because like so much of art is like practicing enough and looking at enough, sorry, I'm gonna get this thread on here, getting enough references in your brain that you can like remember them and draw from memory and imagination. That's like, I think so much of art is just training your brain to recognize the overall shapes of things and to remember the organization of general shapes to create objects in 2D. That's like 90% of like animation and stuff, especially, is like doing that in motion. So that's where I'm like really, really rusty. I just don't have any references in my head anymore. Like I was really rusty on human anatomy, like really rusty. So I was like, maybe I can find a curriculum that will like whip me back into shape. Like I just need something that I can do for like the next several months that I can do like every day, and like really try to. Also, you guys are so nice. I'm ignoring all of your compliments because they're not true, but they're very nice. No, I think to the average person that's not me, who's done 10 years of art classes and college art, I'm sure it looks fine. You're the most critical of your own work always. I can just see all of my weak spots. Like I know all the areas where I'm like really not strong in my technique and in like my flow. So that's the issue. But yeah, so I was looking for, this is a long story. This is I was like looking for some kind of online curriculum. I was like, maybe I can find someone who is like me and like needs to continue their education, like self-taught. Like maybe I can find something. And I just couldn't find anything that I loved. I couldn't. I looked and looked, and there was nothing that I was like super excited about. And the things that were online that were like affordable, that weren't like, $200 a month or something for like master classes, I don't need that. I just need like guidance on like what to do. You know what I mean? Like what to study today. what references to draw today. Like I just know that like if I just follow what I'm interested in only, then I'll have big gaps in my knowledge. So that's what I was really looking for. It's just like a roadmap. And then I realized I have ChatGPT, as I mentioned. We have like the pro account, so I can use it as much as I want. And I was like, why don't I just ask ChatGPT to make me one? Because literally all the ones that were affordable were just made by people like me that have don't have any professional credentials. Like they're all just doing the exact same thing that I'm doing. So I'm like, why don't I just build it myself and make like the perfect thing for me? So I did. I ended up on ChatGPT all night, and I had it make for me a year-long curriculum with weekly projects, like a project-based curriculum to cover all of like the fundamentals and focused on like moving into like your own style. So I started with like refreshing on the fundamentals. I wanted to do master studies each week for like artists that I love and like other illustrators to like, because master studies were the most helpful for me in college. Just like trying to draw like someone whose art you really admire, trying to draw like them is like really good practice for learning like just like finding your own style and learning like techniques that are really like what works, and the fastest way to do things, because especially for illustration it's like about speed, which is what I need anyway, because I can't spend forever just drawing like little things. So I had to make me like a weekly curriculum with like digital art focus, because I need to learn Procreate, and traditional art, and a master study. And then I had it at the beginning of the new year, it'll start also including like a monthly project for like business related, like stickers or enamel pin, like something that I can make and like also sell. So it also like incorporates that kind of like learning and practice and training. And so it made me this whole thing. I was like, that's really cool, but also this looks dry, because like this is what I already did in college that I didn't love enough to stick around for. So I was like, okay, so that's all great, but can we put it with the theme of like fantasy and sci-fi, and like make like, I want to draw things that I'm interested in and that are fun and that are like what I want to be doing anyway. It's like more, that's just what I love, is like that kind of illustration, concept art, character design, that kind of stuff. So I had to incorporate all of that. So I literally have a year-long curriculum with weekly master studies and projects that each week has a different theme, and it is so fun, and all of it is so like interesting. I'm kind of obsessed. I'm putting it into like a really cute format, like nice, so that I has like a little checklist and like the weekly. It looks like the curriculum, like a whole thing, big document. There's 6 phases, so each phase is like 2 months long, and then it also incorporates Thanksgiving and holiday breaks, so that's nice. But yeah, so that's my ADHD side quest that had me not drawing like I was supposed to, but planning on drawing, because that is the struggle, is actually doing the thing that you want to do, and not just planning the thing that you want to do. But I do think this is good because I need direction, and the decision fatigue of like trying to learn art by yourself with no direction is really overwhelming for me. I will show you. Let me see. I gave you an example so you can know what I'm talking about. I know no one asked, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's see. We'll just do week 1, which is this week. Which I haven't actually done because I spent all week making this, so I need to catch up. So, like, I have literally phase 1 at a glance, and then I have the outline for each week of phase 1, which is the first 2 months, and then I have week 1, and then I have, like, the theme, the focus, week at a glance, how the daily practice aligns with assignments, and then assignments overview, sketchbook, digital, and master study, and then tips, and then action zones to help you like focus if you get stuck, completion tracker with like a little checklist for each thing, and then like a reflection at the end of the week, for literally every week of the entire next year. And ChatGPT made all of it. I've done some editing, like I ask it to adjust things as needed, but actually it did a fabulous job, like making things really cohesive. I think the master studies especially are so impressive for, you know, AI that gets things wrong quite a bit with facts, because all of the master studies that I've really gone through so far, the illustrators like are directly, like their work is directly related to the theme of the week, which is so cool. So like for this first week, for instance, is like week 1 is like about establishing a routine. The theme is fantasy warrior poses and Procreate tools instruction. So the week's focus is like establish a consistent daily drawing habit, practice dynamic poses, and get comfortable with Procreate's basic tools. And so then like the daily practice is like 15 minutes of gesture drawing, and it's like warrior poses, standing, holding weapons, dynamic poses, running and leaping, like adding weight to poses, focusing on hands and grips, drawing silhouettes only. And then the assignments are, a sketchbook is like a whole sketchbook spread of like fantasy warrior poses. Description: fill a sketchbook spread with 10 to 12 small gesture drawings of fantasy warriors. Focus on dynamic motion, weapon use, and interaction between character and props. And then there's like a prompt with like actual like step-by-step to help you kind of get going. And then the thing that I love the most is the creative additions that ChatGPT included for every single assignment. So every single assignment has creative additions. So this one's like, include a mix of male and female figures, add fantastical elements, example, horns, wings, or experiment with different time periods. Example, medieval knights versus futuristic warriors. Like, it's like so fun. Like, I can't wait to do all of this. Like, this sounds so fun. And because it is so descriptive, it feels like you have like a really clear direction and like goals to meet. The digital one is a digital still life, but it's not just a still life of like fruits in basket. It's alchemist tools. So it's like create a digital, small digital still life of alchemist tools using Procreate. Incorporate basic shapes like bottles, cauldrons, and scrolls, and experiment with different lighting setups. The creative additions are try sketching different alchemical items. Example, crystal balls, runes, or enchanted plants to add more visual interest and practice with a variety of textures. It's like so fun. I am obsessed. So that's my new project, is one, finishing that so that it looks nice, so then I can just like start using it just like in PDF form. But that's my very big project that I also think I'll go through it and start doing it, and then if it's working for me, I'll probably share it on social media or put it on my Etsy shop or something, because it is a lot of work, but also it's just so cool. And like, what if I can make curriculums for all kinds of other things I'm interested in, like cross stitch or whatever? Like, there's so much you could do. AI is cool. Anyway, there's my spiel. That's what I've been up to this week. That's what I was sitting at Starbucks doing all day. Yeah, Donica, I do love it. I just haven't been doing it because I kind of fell out of my element, and then we moved into a van, and I was like, I don't know. I have very few art supplies in the van. I'm seriously thinking about moving some stuff around and like getting rid of stuff I'm not actually using, especially clothes. I have too many clothes. It's just the amount of clothes I have in my storage unit too. I have so many clothes, but I just love clothes. So when I have a house again, I'm not gonna get rid of any of them. I'll save them, and then I'll have a huge closet again when I'm in a house. But for now, I have too many clothes in this van, and I think I'm gonna swap that out for some more art supply space because it's so directly tied into my cross stitch and everything else that I'm doing creatively. Especially cross stitch is so visual. Cross stitch is just like 2D art. It's just in pixel form essentially. It's pixel art made with like string, thread. So, I think all of it's helpful, and getting into like a good creative habit will make all of the other projects I have to do, like the boring stuff for work, like computer, like graphic-y stuff, so much more fun. Like I've already been having a lot more fun drawing on my YouTube thumbnails than just like doing it in Canva. Like drawing is so much more fun for that. So, all of it I think ties together, and it like I just really want to get into a habit of using my imagination more. Daniel, you're the first person who's tried that who said it's gross. I've only seen people say it's good. So I don't know if you're right or not. I have seen people also get like espresso and ice or whatever from like their local coffee shops, and then add cream and Diet Coke and like make a whole drink out of that. Like people that I know personally, not just like random TikToks, and they also say that's amazing. Apparently coffee and Coke is a thing. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I just really like the classic. I have Coke Zero in my cup right now. Okay, sorry for that. I feel like I just like word vomited so much stuff, but I just feel like it's just so fun. It's like, what other kind of cool like digital products can I make that I don't have to actually type up completely myself, but I can be the mastermind behind it? Because digital products are really van friendly. And I do get a lot of sales on my, I have like a Notion template for thread organization and swaps between DMC and Anchor, and I get a lot of sales with that for $2 on Etsy. Vincent. Daniel, I'm with you on thinking that sounds disgusting. Did you buy it today? Like, did you just try it? I need to fix this. Yes, Donica, that's what I need to be doing too. I found a supplier for making custom enamel. They're technically enamel pins, but I might do, like if I do needle minders, then it's basically just a pin without the pin part. It's just flat. So I found a supplier for that, and I made sure I was chatting back and forth with them to make sure that the material that they make them out of is not magnetized, because that's my main problem right now is I don't have control of that, and that has caused some problems and some needle minders I can't use because they are too magnetized. So I did find that. That's like the thing I need to, if I'm going to design them, I need to, one, make a design that's cute and worth spending, $100 getting a whole bunch made, $200 actually, maybe even $300. It's kind of expensive. Expensive endeavor to start off, but I need to make something that's cute, and then I also need to make something that I can vectorize, because it needs to be, if you really want it to be in your control, like what they end up doing, you need to be able to take your drawing and turn it into a vector drawing. And then you also need to have Pantone color matches, because like the Pantone swatch system is like what all the industry professionals use for their paints, since enamel pins are literally just paint. Especially, it's even more important than print. So I have to figure out all of that. So that's why I think I've been kind of feeling like I don't have a solid foundation. Like you need to have a good piece of art to start. And then you can make all kinds of products and really fun stuff out of it. But if it's not a piece of art that's worth like turning into something, then there's just no point. Like you're just wasting your time. So I think that's where I was kind of like feeling overwhelmed, because I just feel like all of those things are hard, and it's like I don't want to spend hours and hours trying to vectorize a piece of art I don't even like, because it's not good art. I think that's where my thoughts started to come into, like, what can I do? I can dedicate a year to like art training and get much more comfortable. How much happier would I be? And how much easier would everything be? And how many more products could I make that have my art on them? Because right now I'm really limited. So It's a lot. I think Vince and I are just really ready to be making more money. And I make a little bit, obviously, like on YouTube and Etsy, but it's not a second income. Vincent still makes like a vast majority of our money, and we're tired of being poor. And this summer has been really tight and stressful, so we're like really ready to make more money. Vincent's working on that too. He's up. They got his YouTube channel up and running again, which is great. He's doing a whole series right now with one of my best friends in Georgia, and then my little brother Dawson, who's up at school with Daniel. He's a couple years older than Daniel. Well, 5 years older than Daniel. But he's teaching them French, and then like he like posting a video every week, like their lesson together, and like has really nice graphics and stuff. So that's what he's doing. We've just been so busy. We're like, what can we do? What other ways can we explore being productive that also makes money? And I say that as we literally surfed for almost 4 hours yesterday. It's the first good day in a long time. We went out in the morning, and then Vincent had to go and teach. And then the surf kept getting better and better. And I was like, should we go back out? And he's like, okay. So we went out and did that all day yesterday. So we've kind of been playing catch up today. But yeah, Donica, it's funny because I had a friend on Instagram just message me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had a friend just message me on like an old school friend. She said that she and her partner lost their kitty, their pet, which is so sad. And she asked if I take commissions, that's another thing. I'd love to be doing that, but I'm not like super confident with it, especially for something that's like a memento piece in memoriam. I would like really want to get that right, and I don't feel like I have the technical skills right now. I haven't drawn cats that much. Like, I should be drawing cats all the time, or animals in general. I should have a good sense of like animal anatomy at this point in my art life, but I don't. So it's that kind of stuff where I'm like, man, I really need to be doing this practice all the time so that when opportunities come, and especially meaningful ones, like with people that I care about, I want to be able to take them up on that and like do a good job and, you know, feel really good about it. So I'll get there. It's my ADHD brain, I'm telling you. Always a new project. Always busy, always thinking of things, and very rarely finishing anything. Let's see. One. Okay, sorry, I have to count. I don't know what else is new this week. We haven't done much but literally work. I think the next video I'm going to post is me speed stitching this, obviously excluding the parts where I am streaming. But I thought that would help motivate me to finish it. And my video, like the 8-hour cross-stitch marathon video that I posted forever ago, which is just literally me, just literally on like sped up stitching, that's all it is. That one has a ton of views. I think people like having that kind of stuff on in the background. So I was like, why am I not just doing that for all my patterns? It would really give me a reason to finish them quick. And get all up to date on all my test stitches. So I was thinking about maybe doing more of that. Besides just live streams, because it's just not gonna happen quick enough. I'm like, how else can I spend my time that I can like kind of double dip and be more productive that way? Because this kind of stuff does just take so much time. Like, these projects take forever. But I really want to have test stitches of all my patterns. Donica, I have a huge collection of patterns too, and like every time I get new yarn, I'm like, what can I make this with this? And I'm looking up new patterns on Ravelry, and I have like an entire folder of patterns. Like, I don't need to be finding new patterns. I did that for the one that I'm making right now, the one that I had started recently in like the Heatwave vlog most recently. I literally have so many patterns, and I bought another one for that instead of all of the cardigan patterns I already had. Stupid. So silly. Mary, I think that like, I feel like it's different. It's almost nicer when you're like looking for a job, you know, at some point you're not gonna have time anymore. That's like the hard thing with being self-employed and just having like a schedule that's kind of all over the place with living in a van is like I just don't have that structure or there's deadlines anymore that make it easy to be motivated. That's why I did so well in school. Like, yeah, okay, I was working on projects at 3 a.m. every single week, but I got them done and I was really proud of them. At least I finished them, you know? I have nobody to tell me I have to finish anything these days. That's probably why college was hard for me too. I just never quite learned, and then I never was in college long enough to build good habits. Yeah, Donica, that video was literally forever ago, like in our New York apartment. It posted around the same time as like cross stitch tips for beginners. That one, my one video that's got 1 million views, 300 something thousand views, not literally a million. Mary, is your like work that you're working on, you know, working towards, is it like government, like a government job where everything moves super slow? Because that's annoying. My mom just started working for the city of Tempe at like it's like a charter school. It's like alternative learning, but still like funded by the state. And she got hired before school started, but the paperwork took so long, she couldn't even work the whole first week of school. She was just like waiting and waiting for all the background check and stuff to go through. I know she's frustrated about that. She's like, I'm just missing it. District here, yeah. Yeah, Donica, I need to do more of that. I just reorganized all my floss and I should have filmed it, but I was not in the headspace to do that. I actually have a bunch of ideas for other cross-stitch videos though that I could make. I need to just make more of my process, just like I need to make a video about how I make patterns. I need to make a video of making each of my patterns. I saw a video pop up on my feed that looked really fun, which was like, it was cross-stitch thrifting, which is fun because it's like finding, you know, fabric and thread that is floating around in the thrift store system. You can find some really good stuff. The only problem is some of it's discontinued, like some of the DMC colors and stuff. They're not always super useful for like the specific pattern making I need to do, but it did just look like a really fun video. And since we go all over the country, I was like, I should definitely be looking at thrift stores for fun stuff like that. That just seems like a good idea. I think that's like specifically what I'm going to be working on, getting our van reorganized. We have 1 more month here, month and a half. No, almost 2 months, because actually we're going to be in Arizona at the very end, because like Thanksgiving's November 28th this year, and we'll be in Arizona for like starting at Thanksgiving for like a month through Christmas. So it's really closer to 2 months. But anyway, we just don't have space right now for me to literally add anything else, so I need to do a major reorganize. I'll probably film that, honestly. And then I'll have my art supplies and my stitching supplies. More, like, easier to get to and more space for them so that I can be a little bit more creative focused. I think that's been part of my problem. It's been hard to make content just because it just was so inconvenient. It makes it tricky. When you already have to do so much setup and takedown every time, you don't want to add to that. So I'm trying to make it easier on myself if I can. But 73 square feet is not good for a home and an art studio. This is a very patient dude, that's for sure. Mary, that's so nice. I actually haven't looked for that because I feel like I always just need smaller pieces. That's the kind of stuff I don't have space for, but if I had space... The cardigan that I'm knitting, Donica, is just a pattern. It's from... Oh, what's the name? It's like a yarn brand pattern. Like one of those, like, company-issued patterns. But, I can't think of the name. It starts with an S. Sindar? I think it might be Sindar. I just found it on Ravelry. It just looked, I wanted something really light because the yarn I'm making it with is like a DK weight. Like it's not very, it's pretty light. And it's like a low pill polyester. So I just wanted something that was like a little on the lighter side, like a cute little like slouchy, you know, like boxy fit kind of a deal. And I just didn't have patterns that were that cut plus for the right yarn weight. So that's why I ended up buying another one. This one is super nice, actually. I hate how the pattern is set up. It's like, it's one of those, it's like formatted like it would be like in a magazine where it's just like rows of text and it's not cute like patterns from like indie makers. But the pattern itself is fine and it's working, so. I think the cardigan itself is like a super cute kind of a fit. I'll show you what it will look like. I have it saved in my Notion. I always put all my patterns in my Notion on my Yarn Crafts page so that I don't lose them. I can access them from all my devices. Let's see. Yarn Crafts. I can show you. I can look up and see like what the maker of it is too. Cable cardigan is what it's called. Sirdar. Sirdar. It's this one. This is a cardigan. I think it's so cute. I know this is tiny, sorry. Oop, oop. But I think it's cute. It's just like a slouchy fit. And it has like kind of like, it almost looks like cable knit in the back, but it's not. It's just like, yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna get some buttons actually also for that. For when I finish it. I'm almost done with the whole back panel, and that's the longest bit. And then the front is just a quick knit stitch. Hooded granny cardigan, cute. I have some granny cardigans saved that look so cute. I have actually a ton of yarn in our storage unit that I could probably make 1 or 2 more cardigans out of. I have like a bin and a half of yarn. Stuff that I like bought for projects I didn't end up doing, or stuff that I bought on sale thinking I'd find something to do with it and never did. So I think when we get back to Arizona, I'll try to finish this cardigan and then I'll probably swap it out for another long-term project. Okay. Excellent. This is Donzo. Pull it through. There we go. But yes, I don't know. I feel really excited because I feel really creative right now. I think doing live streams again has honestly been so helpful. I love hanging out with you guys, and it's just a nice anchor for the week, knowing that like I have this to do every week. It keeps me like really in a more creative frame of mind. So I'm thinking about like what I'm going to be working on next and what I want to get done, and you guys give me fun ideas for different things to try. So I'm happy about that at least. I felt so uncreative for so long, which is probably why I wasn't like making content either, because I think I was overwhelmed with life. I don't feel overwhelmed anymore, but I think it's because I found focus again. We'll see how long it lasts. I'm on the right meds, Vincent's in therapy, and we have a good flow right now with our life, and that's why it's working out good, I think. Donica, Beetlejuice was fun. It'll never meet the original, obviously. I didn't expect it to, so if you go in with low expectations, I think they did a really good job with all the nostalgia bits of it. It was like, it hit all the right notes for that, and it was like styled really similarly. Like they still had all of like the miniatures and the claymation and stop motion and stuff. So I really enjoyed that. It was fun. It was like, you know, predictable, and the villain was kind of not exciting. But I don't go into it expecting any of that. So it's totally worth seeing. And I think it's fun to see in theaters just because those movies are always they're just so stylized. There's so much to look at. We're seeing Joker, the second one, this weekend. I just rewatched Joker so I can prepare myself for it. It's such a depressing movie. I love it. It's really good. And like Joaquin Phoenix is incredible, but also it's so hard to watch. Because you just see all the people around him making choices that you know are going to lead him down a really dark path, and you can't stop it. You just have to witness it. But I'm excited to see the new one with Lady Gaga. Also, do you want to talk about Chapel Roan? And I feel like she's like speed running the end of her career right now. She just can't. She needs to get off the internet. Me and my sister were talking about that this week. Like, girl, you don't need to explain yourself over and over again. You don't. Like, people are gonna say what they're gonna say. This is the internet. You're gonna get taken out of context. It's gonna be clickbait. You just have to ignore it. Like, I was talking to Colette, my sister, about this. She either needs to like pull like a Taylor Swift / like Olivia Rodrigo and just like refuse to do interviews or anything and just stay in her lane and like focus on her music. Like, Olivia disappeared for like a year to work on Guts, and Taylor's done that a bunch too. Taylor doesn't do any interviews or anything anymore, really. She either needs to do that, or if she really wants to be like a loud and proud advocate, like I think that she does, she needs to be like Lady Gaga and just like ignore anything anyone says about her and just like stay with her own like positive message about whatever she feels like talking about. But she's not doing either of those things right now, and it's driving me nuts. I just wish she needs to be like less online now that she's at this level of fame. Because I don't know if you guys saw, like, she canceled all of her music festivals that she was supposed to be doing. That's not good. Don't do that. Girl. I'm like, I just feel bad for her. 2, 3. Tricky. Donica, yes. I mean, aren't we all? I don't have any feelings about Travis Kelce one way or the other. I'm not into football players. It's not my type. I'm married to a romantic, emotional Frenchman. Meathead football players who are just happy-go-lucky. I don't really understand the appeal of, but I'm happy she's happy. And he seems like a great guy. Took her a while to get there, but the only way that she talks about how it takes a while to get her, how it's taken a while for her to get there is through her music, which I think is a better way to relay that message than making TikToks responding to haters. A la Chapel Roan. Yeah, Mary, isn't it like, it's like frustrating to watch. I just like, she's one of the best selling artists in the world right now. She needs, like, where's her media training? Where's a publicist to like take the phone out of her hand and like help her refocus? I just feel worried that she's just gonna crash and burn. Especially since we already know she's talked openly about having bipolar disorder and a lot of anxiety and whatever else she's dealt with. So I just feel like she needs to be taking that into consideration as she is navigating this. I just feel bad. It's hard to watch. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try to outline the rest of this orange so that it's not so confusing, because otherwise I'm gonna have to just stop and count every 2 seconds, which is annoying for all of us. I'm gonna have to move my hoop at some point. Not yet though. Close, but not yet. Ugh, Donica, I know. Like, literally, people are so annoying. Like, or maybe she is rehearsing for a performance that she's going to be doing. Eras Tour is going to start up again soon. She's probably doing rehearsals for that. Or maybe she's recording something. She has plenty of things to record, a la Rep TV. Or she's always working on new albums. So she has other things to do on Sunday nights. People are just like, people drive me nuts. Everyone needs to chill. I feel like that is the same thing as everyone being so upset with her that she hadn't endorsed anyone early on in the election cycle. And it's like, she's doing international shows. Do we want a Manchester repeat? Do we want that? No. So why would she ever risk her fan safety to like make a political statement that she doesn't need to make? I just, like, I don't understand. Everyone being so upset at her about that is crazy to me. Because, like, we've seen what happens. Like, we've literally seen what happens. How much do you trust those police officers in those random cities that she's in? How much do you trust those local governments? How much do you trust them? With like 80,000 lives. 3 nights in a row. I don't know. It's just like, I'm glad that now people can shut up because she did. She did post something. Okay, 1, 2. I need to do this whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no! This is so hard to count. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 13. Okay, perfect. I only have 6 more to do. But yeah, that's the thing that Chaperone needs to like figure out. Like, she is never going to change people's minds, and I like the fact that she's like surprised that trolls are taking things wrong is like, girl, where have you been? Like, where have you been? This has been going on since the dawn of the internet. I just hope she doesn't disappear because she's such a talented artist. But she needs to pull Lady Gaga or an Olivia Rodrigo or something. In other news, I haven't read any books at all lately. I've been doing so many things like drawing and stitching that I haven't literally been able to sit and read a book. I should be listening to more audiobooks, truly. I think the problem is that I started one that I'm not loving. It's called Youth Juice, and it's one of those like, it's like a shorter horror book, and it's about like a girl who starts a new job at the skincare company, and the owner is like extremely beautiful and young looking, and their product is like selling like hotcakes. It's like kind of like a Glossier kind of a company, but then there's like something nefarious going on, like it's like literal virgin's blood or something, you know, that I don't know what it is yet because I haven't got that far into the book, but it's like there's something in the product that's like actually not good, that is causing it to be so effective. So that one sounds really fun. It's like a fun spooky read, but the writing is just like, I feel like they jumped right into the action, and like it's not super descriptive. It's kind of like jumps you from one scene to the next really quickly, and with like weird descriptions, like overly descriptive about some things and not descriptive enough about other things. So I just keep getting like confused, and if I have to listen to it on an audiobook, it's like it's not working for me. I am not loving that audiobook. So I really just need to try something else, but I get stubborn about finishing things, and then it's like that thing where you just get like decision paralysis because you're just sitting there and you're like, I don't want to finish this thing, but I should finish this thing. And so then you just sit there and you do nothing. Black River Orchard? What's it about? I really like horror. Ooh, I have been seeing so many videos pop up. Is that happening right now? Is that why I keep seeing videos about Ocean Gate? I should probably watch that. I love that stuff. I should watch it. Is there anything really exciting that's been revealed? Not exciting. I shouldn't talk about people dying like that. You know what I mean. Any shocking revelations probably is a better way to put that. 9 lives. Okay, well that's a time commitment, but also I have time where I can sit and listen to stuff. So I did start watching. I've been binging like the Daryl Dixon Walking Dead series. It's on Netflix now, so I've been binging that, and I love the Walking Dead universe, and I love Daryl. He's great. But it's really fun. I didn't realize it was set in France, so that's been fun. I've been watching that today. My back. I feel like I'm looking at the title, Black River Orchard, and I feel like I've seen something about it, but I don't know what. I did read a book that I really loved that was horror recently called The Last House on Needless Street. It was like, it's told from a very unreliable narrator perspective, and so it's kind of hard to follow, but it's very good. And I loved it. Everything's explained by the end, which I need to have in horror. Otherwise, it's too spooky. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And I just thought the writing was really good. So that one's fun if you need a recommendation. And then I listened to, my sister recommended Pretty Girls, which is like, you know, sister mysteriously dies and her sisters years later are like trying to figure out, or disappears. I can't remember how it starts, but anyway, her sisters are trying to find her like years later. And that one was really fun too. Had a really good ending. I listened to that one. I think it was on, I think I found it on Libby. So I rented it from my library. 1, 2, 3. But then I haven't listened to anything else because I started Youth Juice and I hate it. So I need to try something else. Last one was early this week, and yeah, it's slow, but the lack of safety culture is astounding. Some of the listeners are just infuriating. I've watched a couple videos about it, and just like more of just like what was going on behind the scenes with that guy, and like how it was built. And man, it's so crazy when you look back, like the hubris, like that he was so confident. Of course, people like him always are in their creations. They think they are masters of the universe. But it's like really sad watching his like old like promotional videos and stuff, and knowing like that's what people, those people who went on the thing, like that's what they also saw. And like he was so confident, and it was not based on science, that's for sure, from what we understand, at least from what I understand. Special obla gives people who eat it special powers. Cool, that sounds fun. Just need to put my hair up. I'm hot. Cool. That sounds fun. Is it like Adam and Evie kind of evil apple, or is it just happens to be an apple orchard? I don't need a bunch of like Christian theology in there, but just wondering, like, does it tie into that at all? Because I do think that's interesting. I don't like this song. Why is this so dark? 1, 2, skip. That's better. It almost sounds like the Peanuts theme song, doesn't it? Earl's asleep in a box right now. And Goose is back up front. Earl's so cute. I wish I could show you, but this is my laptop computer, or my laptop camera. And I don't even want to try to move my laptop. It's too attached to too many things. He's all curled up. Yeah, I did a new box for him because the one that he was sleeping in started to fall apart. Took him a few days to decide that he liked the box that he's in now. He was not so sure at first, but at Costco we specifically asked them for a cat-sized box. So, it just took a minute. Christmas something that happened years ago. Okay, cool. That sounds fun. Exciting. I do love horror. I just think it's a fun genre because like the supernatural can happen, but it's mostly still based in like the real world. So it's like a fun mix of like fantasy and fiction. And I always love like a big ending that kind of keeps you hooked till the end. I like thrillers for the same reason, but horror just has more like weird spooky elements that I find more fun than thrillers. Sometimes thrillers are like too just like crime solving. Too much crime solving kind of vibes. Pennsylvania. Sweet. I love that area in real life. Ooh, that sounds fun. Short stories are not big enough for me to usually get super into. That's why I love really long fanfic, or fan fiction also. But if it was a whole book of them, there was this book. Okay, I can't remember. There's this one book that we used to read as a kid. I think it was one of the ones. My aunt she worked for Time Warner as a bookseller, so she would get advance copies of all of the books that they were selling, and she would send us big boxes of books. I think this was one of the books that she sent, which is why it's hard to remember because there were so many of them that me and my sister just like gobbled up. It's like short horror stories. And it was very spooky, but like mostly age appropriate. I read it when I was like 10 to 12. They're spooky though. Let's see. Very good. I think it might have been more scary stories to tell in the dark. One of those ones. I need to. It was like a second one. It was not the original one. I cannot. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that was it. It was like an updated one. Let me see. No, the title maybe. It doesn't look super familiar to me. I need to look at the contents. Daniel, you read it too. They're so spooky, right? The one that I specifically remember as being really scary was one. It was like a lady who like I think her would wear. I can't even remember. It was like a banshee, and just the way the story was told was really spooky. Yeah, the girl with the ribbon. The girl with the ribbon. Isn't that kind of like what is it? Edgar Allan Poe, The Heartbeat Under the Floorboards. That story. I can't remember. Maybe. The girl with the ribbon had, I think it was a ribbon holding her head on her body, wasn't it? That was scary. The Telltale Heart, yeah, that one. My legs are sore. Girl with the ribbon around her neck story. Let's see. Book. The Green Ribbon. In a Dark, Dark Room and Other Scary Stories. Is that it? I think that might be it. Let me see. Let me look it up. We're gonna find it. Let me see. I feel like... No, this is like an I can read book. This one's like too simple. I really cannot remember. Daniel, are you gonna be home from college before we get there? We'll have to look and see. It's fun that you've also read it. It's like me and Daniel are 12 years apart, so I love that my mom holds on to books that we can all read. It was an I can read book. I feel like I remember it being like more like a really small chapter book. It must have been in a Dark, Dark Room then. I don't recognize this cover either. Are you sure you read the same one as me? It might have been an updated, maybe had an updated cover, the one that we had. Because if it was like a reprint that my aunt was selling, because I know the original in Dark, Dark Room is like from the 80s. Other editions. Was it illustrated? I feel like it was. It had some like ink illustrations. I need to see if I recognize any of these covers. It was? Okay. Let's see. It must have been this one. Let's see. Let's see if I can find... I definitely don't recognize the original cover. We're gonna see. Where's my phone? My phone's so much easier to search on than my iPad. I don't know why I'm even trying to do my iPad. Too far away. Let's see. I will find it. In a dark, dark room. Illustrated. Yeah, I just don't... I don't know. You can look it up, Daniel. I don't recognize any of these. I don't recognize any of these titles. Or, I mean, any of these covers. Like, they don't look right to me. Like, I remember it looking more... This isn't the right one, but I remember it looking more like this kind of a cover. Something like that. I don't know. It must exist. Somewhere. We'll have to look when we're there next month. If I can't find it. But it was definitely a cover like that. From what I remember. Tell me if I'm right. Because like all of the In the Dark Dark Room books are like very like they're like kind of like Roald Dahl-esque illustrations on the cover. I could be totally misremembering, but I don't remember. Okay, we're gonna go back to work. Brief detour. There were some good scary... I've been literally thinking about that. Like because we go to Barnes & Noble and wander around all the time. I was literally thinking about that book the other day. I'm wondering if I could find it again. So, good thing that we're talking about it. I actually do need to figure out what it's called so I can read it. I'll just like find it on Libby or whatever. Let me see. I'll show you, Daniel. I will show you again. Where was it? It was like the recommended books. It was like, I feel like it was something like this, like kind of like this kind of text on like a simple kind of a background with like black and white illustrations, like this kind of a vibe. That was like what the title, like the cover page looked like to me. That's what I remember. Donica, me too. Corporate overlords, but I do feel like Barnes & Noble does a good job. I like that like each location, their employees like say what they love, different books that they're loving. I find that very fun and charming. I like to read all of the little cards that they put for their recommendations. And I like that I can get a Starbucks drink and wander around. It's big enough that I can like spend a lot of time there before we get bored. And they have good stationery, and they always have good stuff in the book annex too. Like lots of cheap stuff and good like sketchbooks and things. I think it's kind of fun. Daniel, he sent me a text, everyone. Daniel has sent me a picture. Maybe? I still don't remember illustrations like that. I feel like it was more like adult looking illustrations to me. But that's closer. I need to actually start reading it. Maybe I can find it. Maybe I can find it. I'm gonna see if I can find it on like Kindle or whatever. I lost my thread. I need to fix it. Daniel, do you recognize it? Because you've probably read it more recently than me. Like, does that look familiar to you? Yeah, no, that's definitely not the illustrations. Definitely not. I don't think that they were color. I don't remember them being color. They looked more like legit illustrations. Like just like ink, classic, like your classic ink illustrations. Not anything super like stylized or cartoony. I just feel like it was more teenager than little kid. That is the Toothy Man. I mean, that story could be in multiple books too. Donica, journals and stationery. Yeah, I like looking at magazines. Magazines are fun. I bought a whole bunch of 1969, 1970 edition National Geographics when I was making my collage wall. I wanted lots of moon and like starry night kind of pictures, and I knew that National Geographic from the moon landing era would like have that. which it did. I have a lot of really fun cutouts from that, but once I got them, I almost felt bad cutting them apart because they were just so fun to look at. So like I almost kind of wanted to keep them intact. I did, and I put them up on my wall, but they're so cool. Different prints. Daniel sent me lots of information. Let's see. I don't know. I wonder, like, if I'm gonna look on Libby, see if it's at the local library. Yeah, Donica, that's the best thing to do. I think if you are wanting to do, like, fun collage anything, get cheap used magazines on eBay. I got a whole, it was like, oh my gosh, it was so many. It was like 20 or 30 National Geographics, all from those years, for like, I don't know, 10 or 15 bucks. It was like plus shipping. It was really cheap. Let me see. Scary stories. Let me see what our library has. I still have the home library. From me and Daniel, our hometown. That's what the library card I still have. I need to get it updated. I think they're still waiting for me to share with them my address. Yeah, I feel like the scary stories, more tales. Oh, okay. It might have been. I think it might have been part of the scary stories to tell in the dark, but like one of the later editions. I think that might have been what it is. Just a little bit more adult. Let me see. Because, like, this title I recognize. I know, sorry, guys, we're on a mission now. We're gonna figure this out. Scary Stories 3, More Tales to Chill Your Bones. Like, this kind of illustration and this kind of title is more familiar to me. Hi! Nice to see you, Emily. We're trying to find a horror, like a scary story anthology book that I read as a kid, and then my 12-year younger brother also read, that we have at my family home, but neither of us are at. So we're trying to figure out what it was called. Good night, Mary. Love chatting with you. I'm glad everything's working out. Now we have to hear the update about the best friend later. More tales to fill your bones. Let's see. Oh, okay, wait. Daniel, this is totally it. It looks like this. Like, that is like what the cover looks like, for sure. That's totally it. It's that. I think it might have been the third one of that series. That's why it's... Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually read the original one. We just had whatever my aunt sent us in the box of books that she would always send. Let me see. Scary Stories 3. Chapters. I want to see like the names. I want to see the names of the like short stories. Let's see. 25 short stories. Let's see. I think it was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Yeah, you're right, Emily. That's the name of the original one. This one's like the third one. It's like More Scary Stories. And then Scary Stories 3. It's like the... I'm pretty sure this is the book. It must have been. Yeah, I recognize. See, Daniel, doesn't this look so much like what I just said, like, was the kind of cover I remember? This is totally the same one. Yeah, okay, totally, yeah. This is totally what it is. Let me see. I want to look at some of the illustrations. Yeah, see? Spooky. Black and white. Yeah, Emily, I love horror. I haven't read as much Stephen King, honestly. I've read some. I feel like his books are sometimes they're so long that I get overwhelmed. I like shorter horror. I've read a lot of random stuff in horror and nothing really deeply, I should say. Because I traditionally was very much just, I read a lot of fantasy, but I think romantasy has kind of ruined fantasy for me lately. Like, I was kind of a Brandon Sanderson purist when I was younger. I loved him and Patrick Rothfuss and some of the, like, really big high fantasy kind of things. I read some other ones too that I really loved, like The Lies of Locke Lamora, that series trilogy. I love that. It's to me, that's one of the, like, the best written books I've ever read. When I read it, at least that's how I felt. I just loved it so much. And there's a bunch of other series like that, mostly all written by middle-aged men. So I didn't read really any other genre for a long time. I did read this really cool steampunk book once that was like a steampunk world that had zombies. It was like kind of badass. I can't remember the name of it, but it's Steampunk Zombies, and you will find that book. It's really fun. I really loved zombie books. I love zombies in general. Dystopian, post-apocalyptic stuff. So I just didn't really read a lot of horror because it just, like, I think the world building in horror is a lot more vague sometimes, you know? Because that's the point. It's kind of more mysterious. So I didn't read a lot of horror until more recently because fantasy has been, I feel like every fantasy book I've started is just full of sex scenes and not good world building and not even good writing, and I am not interested in that so much. I like ACOTAR. ACOTAR's fine. I liked it. It was the thing that got me back into reading last year, so I'm grateful for that, but I prefer better writing. Neil Gaiman is, like, one of my all-time favorite authors. Favorite. I know there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out about him, but I'm choosing to ignore that because I still love his books. So I'm not deeply read in horror. I just have been liking a lot of random horror that I've been reading lately. There's a little bug. 'Tis the season. Bone Shaker. I think that's it, Daniel. That sounds right. It's really fun. If you haven't read it, it's fun. See, I've heard amazing things about it, Donica. That is a massive book. I don't know if I can do it. It's Coke Zero. I don't really like Coke Zero because I just like full sugar soda. But I'm trying to be really brave and drink less sugar. I don't really need... I very much subsist on sugar, and I don't need to be doing that. It's not good for my health, and it's not good for my fitness. If I'm gonna really be serious about surfing, which I really enjoy, I need to actually take care of my body. So I'm trying to drink less sugar, but Coke Zero almost has like it's like more spicy? Not like carbonated, like it has more, like, a different flavor. It's weird. Maybe it's because the fake sugar changes how everything interacts. I don't know. Yeah, Daniel, I'm pretty sure now that, like, I'm pretty sure that it was one of the scary stories to tell in the dark. It's a fast read. I know, he is so good. And he's so unproblematic. Like, I actually just love Stephen King as a person. What's his book about writing? I've read that. I have it on my bookshelf. Stephen King book about... Yeah, on writing. I have that book. That's what it's called. Let's see. Our random photographer friend that I don't actually know. But he's this guy, he's dreadlocks and a straw hat. He had come up to me on the beach, a couple weeks ago. So, like, hey, I got some pictures of you. He had, like, a big telephoto lens, and I was like, cool. And he sent them over, and then my dad insisted, so I sent him cash for, like, high-res images. Cause that's his whole shtick, is he'll, like, stand on the beach and take pictures of surfers, and then when they come off the water, he'll be like, hey, I got some good pictures. If you want them, I can process them for you. So that's kind of I think that's a good gig. It's smart, especially when you spend all the money on, like, a really good lens. Anyway, so I have some pictures from that. They're like, he caught me at like the end of my session, so it wasn't, I'm like barely on a wave. And it's like the end of me being on a wave. It's not like amazing. But then yesterday he said, he just randomly, like, we like followed each other on Instagram, and he randomly messaged and is like, got some freebies for you. And he got some really nice shots of Vincent coming out of the water, which is cool. And then today he just messaged me again and is like, found a couple more, and it's of me like on a wave actually. It's like, wow. Yeah, I'll show you. Me, actually, I'm squatting very deep in this picture because I had just caught the wave and I was getting on it. So don't judge my form, but like, see, I can surf. It's legit. I'm not just sitting out in the water doing nothing. It's so fun. It's good. You don't ever get to see yourself. So like, it's really hard to know like what to change about your form or like what you're doing wrong if you can't see yourself. So it's actually very nice to have photos that show what you're doing. So it's pretty rad. I kind of hope he hangs out on the beach more and takes more free pictures of us because it's pretty sweet. Emily, I've recently started drinking Coke Zero and Cherry Coke Zero. I don't think regular soda is good for my health. Oh yeah, being diabetic makes things so much trickier. Both my grandparents were always, like my entire family, because they're all Mormon, are really big soda drinkers. So I am too, because I was raised on soda and not coffee. But it is not good for you. And definitely not good for insulin spikes. I definitely should not be drinking as much as I drink. Knitting? What are you gonna knit? I love knitting. I'm in the middle of a cardigan, personally. The same one from the Heatwave vlog, if you watched that. I can't remember if you did. You might have. Knitting, crocheting you can obviously make anything to wear too, but knitting is good for things that need stretch. So things that you want to be like fitted to your body more, or really cozy, thicker, that have more movement. That's like what knitting's really good for. And then obviously socks. I have that whole video on knitting socks because I love knitting socks more than life itself. I have so many pairs of knitted socks and I never wear them because I don't want to ruin them because I love them. But don't be intimidated. Socks seem harder than they really are. If you need any tips on like yarn or supplies to start with or whatever, give me your budget and I can tell you places to look. But that's the trickiest part, I think. Also, thank you. My cross-stitch project is coming along very slowly. It's very fun. Slow fashion. We love it. And quite frankly, with inflation the way that it is, I am finding that making my own clothes is cheaper sometimes than buying them, which is how it should be. It just hasn't been that way for a long time, and since industrialization, because it was faster and cheaper to make in a factory. But it just, with the way things are right now, like I can spend the same amount on yarn and make my own sweater as I would on getting one from like Zara or something, and the quality is going to be way better and the fit's going to be way better. So I'm kind of preferring to do that just because it actually is practical now. It was just a hobby before, but then now it actually makes more sense to do it that way. Same thing with socks. I literally never wear socks out. I don't know about you guys. I literally have my favorite pairs of socks still from high school that I wear every winter. It's not like I don't wear them. I think I'm just really gentle on my clothes. And I have a variety, like a lot of clothes, so I don't have to wear things over and over again too much, I guess. But anyway, so that makes it really worth it too, because I know I'm not gonna wear them out fast. And socks are pretty easy to fix too. I actually have a little like darning thing that you put the sock on to reweave it. What they did in the olden days. What the wives would do in the olden days after the men came home with holes in their socks. I have so much yarn in the storage unit. I keep having literally dreams about going back to our storage unit and like reorganizing everything. I think I will make a video out of it because it's absurd, the amount of stuff that's in there. Like realities of van life. yeah, our minimalist lifestyle here in the van is nice, but we have a 10 by 10 storage unit packed to the brim in Arizona with stuff that I am afraid to get rid of because, you know, as soon as you get rid of it and then you move into a house, you're like, oh yeah, I needed that for this house. I don't know what our living situation is going to be, so I just don't want to get rid of anything. Especially like whatever furniture we could fit in our moving truck when we moved back from New York, I wanted to keep because like furniture's so hard to purchase all at once when you move into a place. It's like you have to buy so many things already. So I was like, I don't want to get rid of like our really nice desks and like our really good bed frame and like all that kind of stuff. Our good mattress. I didn't want to get rid of any of it. So it is all in there. But I'm really overwhelmed about it, and I feel like I keep buying things that I already have because they're just, I know that they're just packed away in the storage unit somewhere and I can't find them quickly, and I haven't spent enough time in there to like know where everything is anymore. I did when we first moved into it, when we had half of our stuff at my grandma's house while we were building the van. I knew where everything was in the storage unit. But then moving out of my grandma's house was really hectic, and it was like around Thanksgiving, so it was already busy. And then we were also like trying to get into the van, like we were like starting to live in the van during that time. So, you know, we spent a lot of time at the storage unit. Kind of, I kept putting stuff in the van and then taking stuff out, is like realizing that we didn't really need it or didn't have space for it. And then we were gone for an entire year, all of 2023. We just weren't in Arizona, so like we had what we had, and so we have to, if we had to buy anything, we just, you know, we had to buy it. We couldn't go back to Arizona for that because we're on the East Coast. So then we had, you know, duplicates of things and stuff that we just needed for specific instances there. So like at the beginning of this year when we were back in Arizona, we went back, I changed around a bunch of my clothes and I took a lot of stuff out of the van. I did not put as much stuff back in the van as I took out. But by then, like everything was just piled up at the front of the storage unit, like not organized well. All of our construction equipment, so much construction stuff. That again, like stuff that's useful, caulks and CAULKS. Don't get funny with me. And, you know, extra screws of all different sizes and like all kinds of little tools and saws and like all kinds of stuff that we didn't need in the van. But like, I don't want to get rid of that. Like someday when we have a garage, it can all go in the garage and be useful. So it's a huge project now to reorganize that, but I feel like I really, really need to, especially if I'm transitioning to doing more traditional art, I really need to figure out a good system here in the van. Yes. It was getting to the point, like, when we were getting ready to go and I was doing, like, my final swapping and stuff at the storage unit at the, like, when we were getting ready to go, you know, beginning of this year, leaving Arizona, I just remembered that, like, I had stuff. I knew I had already bought stuff. I knew I had it, and I could not find it. Like, I was digging through boxes. Oh, man, it was so frustrating. I don't want that to happen again. But we're only in Arizona for a month this time. I don't want to stay past Christmas. Because we were there for too long, honestly. We got there, like, early January and left the end of March this year. We missed Christmas because we did Christmas with my dad in Tennessee. But, I just don't like being in Arizona that long. Arizona's honestly expensive. It is just expensive. And I love hanging out with my family, but also there's just a lot of family stuff to do around the holidays, and it means that we have less time to get ourselves organized. So I'm trying to like limit ourselves to like force myself to do it early. I think I'll spend a couple weekends at the storage unit. I need to swap out all my yarn, plan a couple projects in advance. I need to drop my foamy surfboard. I need to get an epoxy board. It's time. But I don't want to get rid of this foamy, the one that I was just writing that picture, because it's a really nice board and it's expensive to buy new, and we got really lucky finding it on Facebook Marketplace. I just feel like if we sold it, it's worth more to us to keep than to sell, basically is what I'm thinking. But I do need an epoxy board, so we need to drop off our extra surfboard. I need to like swap out all my clothes because I have so many clothes I just have not even touched this year. I know next year will be different with being on the East Coast a little bit, but we're still going to be doing a lot of surfing and hanging out at the beach. So I just really need to plan on those activities. So I just need to do a big revamp. I really want more traditional art stuff too. Like I have a really nice Winsor Newton watercolor set. It was my grandpa's. He was a fine artist and an architect. And he taught me everything I know. And then he died really suddenly in 2012. And I never got to say goodbye, but I did get a lot of his art supplies. I love it because a lot of it has like his beautiful architect handwriting, you know, the boxy all caps that all the architects do. He hand drew blueprints. Like he never used a computer for that. He always hand drew everything. So beautiful, perfect straight lines. And then he did a lot of really beautiful like fine art and ink in his spare time. He and my grandma would go to Mexico a lot and do that. So I have some of his art. One of my favorites is like, I think it's watercolor. It's a blue crab that he painted while he was down in Mexico. But yeah, I have some of his supplies, like a really nice like a travel Winsor Newton watercolor set, and then I have all of my like Conte pastel sticks and charcoal, and then I have all of my figure drawing stuff from college, and all of it's just like, you know, stuff to write and draw with. Donica, I think so. Honestly though, my entire family is like stupidly creative. Most of them don't do it like for work. Like one of my uncles is he's like a fine artist. Like he does illustrations and stuff. Okay, I take it back. Most of them do it for work when I think about it. My cousins, not a lot of my cousins do it for work. But yeah, one of my uncles, he does silkscreen printing. He has my entire life. He has a silkscreen printing shop. He's a beautiful silkscreen printer. I should find a picture. He does the most beautiful, intricate designs you've ever seen, and a lot of them are like very traditionally Arizona. They're really beautiful. Then one of my other uncles, he is like an illustrator artist. My other uncle does construction, but he's also very creative and musical and whatever else. And then my mom is also very creative. She's more a performer though. She did classical singing and theater. She got a full ride to Juilliard for the oboe, which she did not take. She went to BYU instead. But she was really talented. She did ballet too. So we did like everything when we were younger, and I think art is just the thing that stuck. My dad was a gymnast. I mean, he's not like creative. He's just physically comfortable in his own skin. So we did gymnastics and tumbling and ballet and tap. Never stuck with anything. Art's the only thing I've really stuck with my whole life. But we did all kinds of art classes at like the local community art centers growing up. And I've just always done it. I don't remember a time where I wasn't drawing. Every single one of my school assignments always had doodles on them. And then as soon as I was in like junior high and high school, I always was doing art classes. And I did 3 years of Photoshop, or 2 years of Photoshop actually, 4 semesters in high school. So I got really comfortable with photo editing and photography. $175 for my senior project. I found a bunch of thrift store clothes and altered all of them and took all of my friends out to be models at like really grungy, remote looking kind of spots in our town, wearing the most ridiculous get-ups, and then I edited the heck out of all of them. And then I got into college. I actually got into 2 illustration programs. I got into FIT, was accepted with pretty much the same portfolio I turned in for BYU. FIT is the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. Illustration isn't their main gig, it's fashion and fashion design, but they do have an illustration program that's fashion heavy, which I was really interested in. And then I panicked and felt like I was letting my Mormon family down, and I didn't know how I was going to pay for it because I was completely on my own in New York City, and I was 20 years old, and I was like, how am I going to still work full-time and do school full-time? So I panicked, and I ended up also applying to BYU, and I went there instead. Got into BYU, and then I did the prereqs for illustration there, which I will say is a very, very competitive program. It's their animation program in particular, which is, you know, their animation and illustration are really neck and neck. They share offices in many studios, but their animation program is really, really heavily recruited from Disney. Disney loves BYU students. So that was a really competitive program. I got into that, and then I did 3 semesters of that, and then I got married and dropped out. So now I don't have a life plan. My only plan ever in my whole life was to do art. That's all I ever thought of doing or wanted to do. Hi, Marie. Nice to see you. How are you doing? What time of day is it in Australia? I feel like it's not nighttime. Is it Friday? It's gotta be Friday, right? Because you guys are ahead of us by a lot, I think. Or are you behind? No, I think you're ahead of us. Tell me if I'm right. Daniel, are you doing animation? Animation is really, really fun. I love the like figure drawing concept design, like character animation part of it. That's why I did illustration, because I like character design in particular is what I love so much. And like, you know, like all of the character sheets, I'll show you an example. All of the character sheets of like, just like animated characters in motion. Let's see, like Greg Keane is, a really famous animator from Disney, but his like spec sheets for characters are just so beautiful. I knew I wanted to do that when I was little, and I know I haven't done it, but that's what I wanted to do when I was a child. As soon as I wasn't wanting to be like a marine biologist, when I decided I loved art at like 7 or 8, my favorite thing in the world was watching all the special features on DVDs, especially for animation, and actually any of them, because even like Pirates of the Caribbean and Lord of the Rings, like they always have the most beautiful character design spec sheets. Like illustrated, incredible, like, you know, fun fashion and just interesting. They're just so, there's something I love about that art so much. It just feels so alive and so like loose and sketchy. I just am obsessed with it. So I have been ever since I was little. So like that is what I love about animation, which is why I didn't want to do animation, because it's not the animating part that I love. It's like the initial character design part. But let me see. I'll show you Greg Keane. He's amazing. He did a lot of stuff for Disney. Let's see. I think his name's Greg. No, his last name's Keane. I'm so bad with names. Greg. Okay, I'm wrong. It's not Greg. It's a different name that starts with G. Let me see. What is his name? Glenn. That's what it is. Gosh, I'm so bad with names. 4-letter name that starts with G. So close and yet so far. Let's see. Glenn. Okay, let me see. Yeah, he's just, oh, he did like, for instance, he did Tarzan. He did like Rapunzel, the most beautiful, like you're kidding me. Like this, there's just so much, it's just like a loose sketch, but there's just like so much life in it, you know? It feels like it's just jumping off the page, even though it's just like, it's just loose drawing. Like there's not that much to it. But I just love it so much. He did Little Mermaid also. What else? He did so much. Let's see. Like this is like the stuff that I was obsessed with when I was younger. Like these spec sheets. Just characters in motion. Characters from different angles. Characters doing things. I loved them so much. That's just... There's Pocahontas. This is all Glenn Keane. This is the stuff that I was really wanting to do. So, still want to do it. But I can just design my own characters and do them my own way. And still make art for a living if I want to, which is cool. I just have to get more comfy with it. I don't really have my own distinct style. Like, you look at his art and you can immediately tell it's his. And that's what I don't have right now. Okay, I'm gonna catch up on chat, I promise. Daniel going in because of their game program. So fun. Which, I mean, you're so good at. Hello, Dana. I'll show you guys my Inktober. I haven't posted it yet. I still need to edit it, which takes forever. Because I realized in order to have like a high res, like a sharp looking reel, Instagram like really compresses videos in a horrible way. So your art does not look good if you do it on like a normal like 1080p, like a standard HD resolution. You literally have to do it in 4K, which is literally so the huge file sizes. So it's really annoying, but I think it's worth it. It looks good. Marie, I'm crafting for my small handmade business. So fun. You're totally fine. I just chat up a storm. I get very little work done and I talk a lot. But super fun. Share your business if you want to. You're always welcome to share in the Discord too. I usually have it in the description if you want to post there. I don't care about self-promotion. Everyone can self-promote away. I think rising tides lift all ships, so have at it. Dana, is it 2 Zen? I can barely hear it. I am not really listening to it as I'm talking, so let me know if it's 2 Zen for you. I can hit next. Jump scared me, so I'm so sorry. Okay, let me grab my Inktober. I'll show you it. You guys will get a special sneak preview because I haven't posted it. But I actually really like how this one turned out. I think it turned out cool. It's the main, like the actual like Inktober prompt was boots, and I was telling Dana, she was doing the video with my husband earlier for learning French, so I was telling her earlier that boots is an extremely boring prompt, and I don't like the Inktober prompts this year, so I made it a vampire. Still wearing boots, but a vampire. To make it more spooky and fun. So here. Guys, how it turned out. Let me see, I gotta zoom out a little. I think it looks pretty rad. It's like a gothy, kind of cool, emo-y kind of vampire, sucking on a blood bag. I think it turned out pretty rad though. I was really happy. I was really worried about the anatomy on this one because it's a really tricky pose. But I was really proud of how it turned out, and I think the shading is fun because pen shading is so difficult. It's just lines. How heavy do you want your lines to be? There's the bottom of the boots. It's directly from like a fashion. Like I didn't come up with this from my brain, but isn't it fun? I think that's cool. I was so proud of her hands. Hands were so hard. I was so worried I wasn't gonna be able to do the hands. So I was really relieved when I can draw hands. I still remember how to draw hands. So nailed that. But yeah, super fun. I was really happy with it. I thought it turned out really fun. I can't wait to post the video. I got a hate comment on my last post from yesterday. Inktober day 2. It's just a skull. It's a skull in a clover field. Like, it's so basic. It's no big deal. And someone, like, immediately posted, redraw, it looks like shit. That's all they said. I have no idea who this person is. I saw it and I was just like, I just giggled. I'm really proud of myself. In a past life, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, that would have really sent me spinning. I would have felt really, really bad about that. I would have dwelled on it. It would have been in the back of my mind, and it would have made me stressed to post the next thing. And I was really like, wow, this is growth, because I looked at that comment and I just laughed and I pinned it. So it is memorialized forever. I was like, I can do this. This is good. I forgot to get back in. I felt really proud of myself that I did not let it get to me this time. Gotta have a thick skin on the internet. But yeah, super funny. So you can go like that comment if you want to. Yeah, so rude, right, Donica? I even acknowledged in that video, I was like, I did not nail this anatomy, so we're calling it stylized. I literally said that, and they were still telling me I should redraw it. Dana, what are you talking about? Rehair? Are you talking about the Vampy, the thing I drew? Or something else? Let me know. I can show you the reference. I don't know what it's from, actually. I just found it on Pinterest. Because my whole like thumbnail sheet that I did for that prompt was, I just did high fashion. Oh, okay, Dana. Yes. This is Hocus Pocus, but it is, I'll show you the, like, finished pattern. It kind of looks crappy, actually, because it's halfway done. Go back to my patterns. Let me find the version of it that isn't already. I'll just show you this one. It doesn't matter. This is like the finished. It's like the quote. It's just a bunch of hocus pocus. All the dark bits are where I've already stitched. It's just like a cute little black cat and a bunch of candles. It's very simple. I've seen the 3 colored hair one so much. I didn't want to do that again. Because I was like, there's no way that I can make that unique that'll be better than all of the versions of that there already are. So I made my own thing. Marie's unique gifts. That's so fun. Well, everyone go follow. A small business has got to stick together. Super fun. Yeah, Dana, isn't it fun? You can have this if you want to when I'm done with the test stitch. I just need to take a picture of it. I don't need to keep it. It's not my style, but I feel like it could be our style. It's very basic. Kind of minimal. The only color really is orange, and then it's just like this beigey thing, and then black. If anyone else wants any of my other test stitches, just let me know. I don't need to keep them. If I get a collection of them, I'll probably just pop them on my Etsy shop for cheap and ship them off. But if anyone wants them, I don't mind giving them away either. Put it on a pillow. That's a good idea. That would make a cute pillow. You know what, Dana? Your mom could probably sew something cute. Sew this onto a pillow. Ugh, you're so nice, Marie. Well, I hope this is helpful. I know that some people really like having stuff on in the background, which is why I love doing these. It helps me stay on top of my projects too. And I always get fun ideas from people. And I love talking to people and meeting people. So I hope it's helpful for you as you're working on whatever you're working on. She's gonna start teaching me soon. Dana, you should learn how to sew. Sewing's so fun. When you have it figured out, it just like, man, opens so many doors for tailoring for us shorties. Dana's my height. We're both very short. Like, how tall are you, Dana? I am 4'11" and a half. I don't even quite hit 5 feet. I claim 5 feet, but I'm not quite 5 feet actually. I'm very short. But I feel like you got a couple inches on me. But the problem remains. Everything is too long. Okay, I don't need to play. I don't need to play chicken with this string. I have plenty of orange string. I'm just gonna stop this here. No, you're okay. You're the same as me. I don't know why I remembered you're taller than... Maybe just because you just stand up straighter than I do. You know what? I have to say, I do have better posture now that I am surfing. Surfing really helps with posture because it's so much core strength. And also... laying on your belly and paddling, like my rib cage, you know, like literally when you sit poorly, like your posture, your rib cage literally like flares out a little bit more. Like people who have like slouch a lot, their rib cage literally is like not straight, and mine definitely wasn't because I've spent my whole life doing these kinds of things. So for the first like month of surfing, every single time my ribs would hurt really bad to the point where like I couldn't even go every day. Because they would be like just right like the middle of my sternum, bottom parts of my ribs would be really sore. And I was realizing this week that like I surfed an hour, and then I surfed 2.5 hours. No, I surfed 2.5 hours and an hour, and then 3.5 hours, like 3 days in a row, and I have no soreness. Like I'm good. It's kind of amazing. My arms are a tiny bit sore today from so much surfing yesterday, but like just muscle sore, not like bone sore, like you did something wrong. You're pushing yourself really hard. So I was like, I'm really proud of myself. But that has also, I think because my rib cage is aligned the way it's supposed to be, I'm sitting up straighter and I have a lot less back pain. Like my back is so much stronger and my shoulders, like all the muscles that support your spine. Mine are getting a regular workout now, and it makes a huge difference. It's really crazy. It's the first time in my life where like doing something physical has actually made my life better. I feel like every single time I tried to go to the gym or something, I just felt worse afterwards. I never got to the point where it was good. It was always just kind of miserable. This is the first time I feel like I get it. Like I understand the value of it. Dana, I love you. You don't need to go. Stay as long as you want. You're giving everyone else an opportunity to do more actual stitching and stuff, because otherwise they're all responding too, and then no one's actually doing anything. Everyone, Dana's texting me that she feels like she's a mess in the chat, so tell her that she's good. Tell her she doesn't need to leave.
Put her on blast like that.
Dana, I could carry this. You go, girl. Me and Dana are both very talkative. Dana's an actual real extrovert. I just have ADHD brain that never stops thinking about things and wanting to talk about everything and understand everything. Dana, there's no point. There's no point in keeping it a secret. Now you'll just know. Everyone can tell you to your face if you're annoying or not, but I don't think that you are.
Just
See?
back here. They won't tell you.
See, Donica says you're great, Dana. You're great. I love you, sorry. Danny. Carry the weight our silence brings. Stand tall. Dana is also a people pleaser, like myself. So we both go into anxiety spirals over the idea of disappointing anyone or someone not liking us or being upset at us. We've had many long talks about that. Dana says hi, Vince.
Oh, Dana says hi?
Uh-huh.
Hello. I mean, hi again.
Y'all just saw each other. I was really jealous because tonight, while Vincent was doing his thing, Dana was eating Texas Roadhouse. And I have been talking about going to Texas Roadhouse for like weeks. Like here's the thing, we've had absolutely zero money. Like our going out to eat has literally been what kind of deals can we get for fast food. Like we spent $13 on Cafe Rio the other night because they had a deal with Cafe Rio rewards where if you buy a drink you get a free entree. So I got a free entree for like a $3 drink, and then Vincent signed up for he signed up for the rewards and got $5 off, so he spent $10 and we spent $13 on 2 entrees and a drink at Cafe Rio, and we're like, wow, we did so good. That's the actual highest quality food we've gotten from any kind of restaurant in a long time, because that's how poor we've been. So we have Vincent's had some good re-ups on his lessons recently. So we've been talking about where do we want to go eat, and Texas Roadhouse is just a favorite. It's where we used to always go eat when we were building our van, and we really needed to get out of my grandma's house and go do something fun. We would go to Texas Roadhouse and then go see a movie because they were in the same parking lot in Arizona. So that's where I've been wanting to go, just for old time's sake. So I was really jealous that Dana was eating that tonight. That's all I want. I want a 6-ounce steak, and I want a lot of rolls. And I want their green beans are so good with all of the bacon and stuff in them. I love their green beans. I also really love their baked, their loaded mashed potatoes, or their sweet potato. So that's what I'm looking forward to. It's the first time we'll be in a sit-down restaurant, me and Vincent, literally since my birthday in June. We went to a semi-nice place for my birthday in June, and we have not gone anywhere else since. Dana, is that exactly what you got, except corn? Their green beans are so much better than their corn. They're crazy for getting corn. Wait, did you get corn instead of potatoes, or did you get corn instead of green beans? I need clarification. Donica, they do. They always have really good big ones, and I love a really slow cooked sweet potato because it gets all caramelized, and then they have that really good cinnamon butter. It's just so good, and it's so much food for $15 or something, and you don't need more steak than that, especially when you have all the other stuff that comes with it. It's just actually a pretty decent deal. Salad and corn and rolls and steak. That sounds good. Instead, we had noodles tonight that Vincent made, which were also very good, but it's not Texas Roadhouse.
There you
I know, sorry, honey. Hate to break it to you. What I've been doing a lot for, like, quote-unquote takeout is McDonald's, because McDonald's has... Right now they have a $6.50 Big Mac medium size meal. And then I have rewards to use up slowly, so I've been spending $6.50 on McDonald's meals. Either that or we'll go to In-N-Out. In-N-Out is cheap too. I only like to go to In-N-Out if I don't feel like fries, because I hate In-N-Out's fries. I don't think they're good. I like other fast food fries much better. So I only go if I just really want a burger or like a protein style, where it's wrapped in lettuce. I love a double protein style. I just can't do it with fries. You know what, Dana? I heard that, because aren't they owned by the same company? It's like the quality of steak is really good, and then just like the other stuff is like what makes a difference. Marie, that sounds so good. I really enjoy cooking. We just live in a van, so we have a 3-burner propane stove and a ton of cast iron. Like, we have a Dutch oven and a lot of sizes of cast iron pans, and then one little sauce pot. So we can make quite a bit. Like, we definitely cook a lot. The dinner Vincent made tonight was really good. But there's some nights where, because we only have like 4 of each kind of like dish, if dishes aren't done, and like there's some nights where it just like really is like, we do not have time to do this right now. It's not like leaving your dishes at home and going out and getting food. It's like you're taking your home with you. So you never get to escape the dishes. So sometimes that's like the main reason for us to get takeout sometimes, is like, we don't want to have to clean up. Dana. In-N-Out fries are just crunchy. There's nothing good about them. I don't know. I like them animal style, but I don't want like animal style every time. Hey, Marie, that's so fun. We're in California. We met a lot of people doing this in California. We spent all of last year on the East Coast of the United States, and we met a lot less people doing that over there. We always saw them like out on the road, but we didn't like talk to them. I feel like we've made a lot more friends here on the West Coast. But we really love it, and it's been so fun to I just feel like we have so many fun interactions with people all the time. I find it so interesting and so rewarding. I think especially in this crazy election cycle here in this country, it's been very humanizing to just meet lots of different kinds of people. And remember that like everyone's human and people are mostly kind and want to do good. Donica, have a good night. If you're working tomorrow, have a good day at work too. Get some good sleep. I will see you next week. Maybe. Marie, I've heard so many good things. And surfing. Now that we surf, I feel like we need to go surf in Australia. I took one surf lesson at the start of the summer because I was really struggling to kind of get started. So Vincent got me a surf lesson, and the gal that we took that surf lesson from, she had just gotten back from spending a few months in Australia surfing and like doing like retreats and stuff with really good surfers. And I was like, she made it sound so fun. Not just for surfing, but just like being in Australia in general. She like really loved it as a country. She had a great time. So you guys did good by her at least. Dana, congratulations. I love corn too. I just prefer their green beans. I kind of replicate their green beans at home. You can kind of do it. I always have like the Costco frozen bacon, and I always have a little bit of bacon grease. You just do like some garlic. You need garlic, salt, pepper, and a good amount of bacon and bacon grease. And then you can kind of replicate their green beans. Oh, Dana, me too. Especially here, it's like the cheapest gas around usually, so we do a lot of Costco shopping mainly for the gas. And for the eggs, Vincent's been eating a ton of eggs. We really upped our protein intake since we've been doing so much sports, and we both want to build muscle and not be tired. So we eat a lot more protein than we used to, and eggs are by far the cheapest thing to eat, and you can get them for $5 for 24 at Costco. So we buy them 2 dozen at a time in our little tiny RV fridge. Just to make it work. Because we eat through them so fast.
Egg.
Otherwise, what do we get at Costco? We get like the roasted turkey breast. I love using that
We
for.
slice it ourselves.
Yeah, we sliced it ourselves for like sandwiches or whatever else. We do the rotisserie chicken, obviously, because that's cheap and good.
Steak strips.
Yeah, the like steak strips, the big bag of them that you keep in the fridge. And we do bread and wine. Wine's so cheap there.
Yeah.
And here in California, all of it's local. So it's super fun because it's just like a bunch of California wines that it's been really fun to like try them. My aunt and uncle always have good recommendations too because they get them also. Ah, Marie, that's so rude. Didn't you tell it that I'm streaming right now? Dana, Bob got hooked on egg salad because of a sample. Okay. Remember? Okay, so there's this little mining town. I will tell the story. Little mining town. Just north of where Dana lives. We spent a lot of time in Georgia last year hanging out with them because we literally arrived the day that Dana had her second child. On accident because he was like, what, 3 weeks early? So we were supposed to have a couple weeks of Dana being very pregnant and then we were gonna kind of like disappear after the baby was born, but he ended up coming the day that we arrived. So we ended up hanging out with them a lot at their house and just like sticking around to be helpful. And I loved it so much. It was like a really rewarding experience, but also like really good time spent with Dana since she was just hanging out. It was like, it kind of worked out good for that. Met their entire family, hung out at their parents' house a lot. So we just ended up spending a lot of time in Georgia. But there's a little mining town just north of where Dana lives. It's called Dahlonega. It's the first mining town in the US, like way before the California gold rush. They found gold in Dahlonega. So it's like, it's a really old town, but it's super cute. So we spent a lot of time up there. And there's this like little eatery, little cafe in the town square that has the best egg salad I've ever had in my life. And I have recreated it many times since then because it is so good. And it has apple in it. Like it's like just sliced apple, like, you know, cut around the same size as the egg pieces. It's just like maybe like a Honeycrisp, like tart and crunchy apple. Tart sweet, not Granny Smith. I was trying to figure out what it was when we were there. I got it several times because it was like, I like egg salad anyway, but I ordered it and I was like, this is the best egg salad I've ever had in my life. So anyway, yeah. Apple, I put a little bit of vinegar in there and then egg, mayo, salt, pepper. That's it. Like really basic. Yeah, I skip like mustard or anything when I do the apple, but it's literally so good. I dream about that egg salad. I want to go back to Dahlonega just for the egg salad.
Just for the salad.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll be back in Georgia next spring because we have to go east for a wedding.
you know what memory I just had talking about Dahlonega?
Tell me.
Us freezing our asses off, eating that crab boil.
Yeah. We
All of that.
we were in Dahlonega. It was really cold. Like last spring, they had like a cold snap. There's this like New Orleans restaurant, like New Orleans themed restaurant, also in the same square in Dahlonega. But they had like a Mardi Gras special. It happened to be like 40 degrees outside. Like it was so cold. And Vincent really wanted to do the crab boil. Was it crawfish? It was crawfish. I think it was crab in it too.
Crab and crawfish.
Yeah, it was like a seafood boil, special for Mardi Gras, New Orleans style. And there was a long wait at the restaurant when we showed up, and so we just chose to sit outside. But it was literally so cold. Like they give you, you know, like hot melted butter for your seafood when you do a boil like that, and literally before we could even finish our food, the butter was like solidified solid and our hands were just like red. It was so cold. And we kept ordering like they had like hot cocktails, like apple cider and different ones that you could order, special martinis and stuff. We just kept getting like hot cocktails to keep us warm.
2 or 3 cocktails deep, and then there was like another couple that went out.
Yeah. And they immediately went back in. They like came out, they ordered cocktails, and then they sat there for like 5 minutes, and then they left. They were like, they like noped out. It was too cold for them. But yeah, that was a fun time in Dahlonega. It was so cold. Dana, I can't believe you just called me a grandma just because I like egg salad and knitting. And I don't know what else I like. I like a lot of granny-ish things, I suppose. It's because I was raised by my grandparents. Halfway. I spent a lot of time with them because my parents were divorced. Quincy. Every time you talk about Quincy's wedding, Dana, Quincy is a friend of Dana's that I didn't know in college, but we all went to the same college.
What you do? I didn't know that.
Didn't she go to BYU, Dana? Pretty sure she did. She went to the same graduate program as... Maybe she didn't go to BYU. She went to the same graduate program as Dana's husband. Okay, yeah, she did. Anyway, Quincy's super fun, and she is getting married soon. I have my friend in New York who's getting married in May. I chat with her quite a bit about it because she's always looking for a second opinion on things. So I just feel like there's weddings everywhere right now. It's kind of fun. Dana, you're in Quincy's wedding, aren't you? I'm in Jackie's wedding, so we both got bridesmaid duties. What we're dealing with right now is one of Jackie's bridesmaids. She was diagnosed with cancer last November. And she just passed away. So we're trying to figure out. I've been chatting with Jackie quite a bit because she's obviously that's absolutely traumatizing and very sad. So we are rearranging a few things in the bachelorette department for that. That's what we're dealing with currently. Marie, yes, Vince and I have been married since 2017. We're both 30. We got married when we were 22, 23.
We're babies.
We were babies. We were also both raised Mormon. He's French, and I'm from Arizona. We met on Tinder in 2016 in Utah.
Back when you could meet someone on Tinder.
Yeah, back when Tinder was like the only real dating app. Yeah, so we dated long distance for a year, and then we got married in 2017. And we've been married ever since. That's where I met Dana, was exactly around that time frame. Funny story, me and Dana's husband actually matched on Tinder before either of us met our now partners. We didn't ever go on a date, but it was really funny when she brought him to the dorm for the first time, and I was like, I recognize you. We'd had like a random conversation, and then we like never went on a date or anything, but it was super funny. That's how we all know each other. I know. We did not click. It wasn't meant to be. So funny. I dropped everyone else as soon as I met Vincent, honestly. We super clicked. Just long distance is so hard, and we just had such good conversation. We're really good texters, and we did so much Zoom calls and stuff. So we got to know each other really through our writing more than anything, I think. Writing and photos, right?
People around me were saying like I was catfishing.
Apparently. Well, of course, because everyone in the US is like, there's no way this cute French dude is actually this cute French dude. But he was. My mom was obsessed. She would tell everyone it was like a Hallmark movie. Her dream come true. It is pretty, I mean, it was ideal. It was really fun to get married and move to France right away. Really loved that time. Living in France was hard for me just because I really struggled to learn the language, but
It is a brutal language.
yeah, it's a hard language. But it was a very formative experience for me, and it really changed how I looked at the world. And I'm really glad that I had it early on.
Marie, this is super cute.
Oh, cute. That's so fun. You know, my mom and my stepdad are the same. They dated almost like he would have proposed to her if her parents hadn't separated them, because she was like a child prodigy and was going to Juilliard, and they're like, you are not allowed to date our daughter. So they split up and like lost touch. But then they both got married, and then they both got divorced, and they met each other, like they found each other again, because my mom was my stepsister. She's 3 years older than me. My stepdad's daughter. My mom was her choir teacher. So my stepdad went to a concert and was like, "Hey, I know that choir teacher," and they reconnected, and they ended up together after 18 years. So that's really fun. I love those stories. I think it's magical. I love when things work out like that. That's so okay. So when's your wedding? Are you married already, or are you planning a wedding still? Because we love wedding planning around here. That's so exciting. I hope that everything is magical and beautiful and perfect. I'm glad it seems like you have plenty of time for planning, which is good. We, since Vince and I were both raised Mormon in Mormon culture, you get married immediately because it's all about abstinence. So most of my friends married after only knowing each other for a few months. And all my friends' weddings were also very simple because they only had a few months to plan. And everyone was really young. Like, pretty much all my friends got married within the same like 2-year block, and we were all in our very early 20s. So I only have this one friend in New York, Jackie, who's getting married now at 30, and it's such a different experience. Like, going through wedding planning with her, so much more fun. Like, oh my gosh, I'm actually really excited. I haven't been to very many normal weddings, non-Mormon weddings, so I'm very excited about it. I think that the planning part is way more fun when you have a lot more control over what it looks like than you do when you're getting married as a Mormon. Yeah, Dana, Dana's 2 years younger than me, and she got married the year before me, so. Good for you, Marie. I'm happy for you. That's really fun. Okay, yeah, you're just like my mom, my stepdad. I love those. I mean, I don't love that, it didn't work out the first time. That sucks. But it's so happy when it works out in the end. I think that's beautiful. I love how life works out. Yeah, child brides. All of us were child brides. I was 21, 22. I think I was 22. Or just turning 22. And I was older than a lot of my friends who got married. My younger sister, who's like 16 months younger than me, she got married a month after I did. And I had to fight for that month space because she and her husband were like, "We can't wait. We're not going to make it." And I was like, "You have to make it because you're not getting married the same month as me. Because I'm doing my whole wedding myself. My mom was helping me with all of it." And I was like, "No, we're not doing that to my mother. We can't. I need time." So I made her do it in June instead of May. But yeah, no, I was on the old side for all of my circle back then. We are not Mormon anymore. That's why I joke about it like this. It's just backstory because it explains. Everyone's always like, "You guys have been married for 8 years?" Yep. Yes, we were indeed very young when we got married. First marriage at 27, I think is perfect. Like, that's great. I think that's a great age. I feel like by then you kind of know who you are and you kind of know like your life trajectory a little bit. But you still have plenty of time to like spend a lot of time together before you would have to start thinking about starting a family or like any of the other stuff you have to start thinking about by like 35. I think it's nice. I have loved being married as long as I've been married without kids, that's for sure. Yep. Bryce and Dana are great. Vincent and Bryce are really close. Bryce is one of those really smart guys that always has some kind of fun project going on, so it's always really fun to chat with him because there's always something happening. and like just in his spare time. And they have the cutest kids in the world. The most cute babies, the funniest kids. We spent so much time with them, so I feel like they're our family too. I spent more time with your kids, Dana, than I have any of my sister's kids. My sisters don't like to hang out like that. They don't invite us over the way that you do, so we don't spend as much time with them. Well, Marie, I'm very excited for you. Weddings are so fun. Love is great. We love love. Feel free to talk about wedding planning anytime. I don't know how much you're doing already. You probably aren't having to worry about too much besides, like, finding a venue, but very fun. I think we might do a vow renewal maybe at 10 years. Another 3 years from now. 2 years from now, I mean. 2.5. I think we deserve that. I want to wear my dream dress. I never got to have a dream dress. The garden that Dana is referring to is one of Bryce's side projects. It was started while we were there last year. I think we had a single bean plant back then.
Amani got over the gopher crack.
I know. It's so funny. You're gardening? Wait, what are you talking about? I'm confused.
Oh.
What is it something that I don't know about?
Which type of other plants can you kind of use?
Oh, okay, sorry. I wasn't raised on euphemisms. I don't know. Marie, it's a green plant that is illegal in many places.
To be fair, I only know because I saw a meme I got confused at that said, like, I went gardening and then I fed my cat and it wasn't his own.
Okay, so you had the same confusion. I've never heard that before.
You're
Dana,
welcome, Dana.
I'm not up on the stuff. We haven't done anything like that in a long time. Our New York friends would always do gummies on the weekends, but we don't have any because we've crossed too many state lines and all the states have different laws. So we just don't want to risk it. Yeah. We're gonna buy something, it's gonna be like beer. More than anything else. Marie. I was so confused, Dana. Ignore my explanation because it was totally wrong. It's so funny. It is clever though because algorithms. It makes sense that people would use that. I just have never heard it. This thread's getting so tangled. I think I just cut a piece a little bit too long. Same. Also, the meds that I'm on now, I was just on an antidepressant because my entire family is clinically depressed. I think maybe it's a part of all of us being artists and creative. None of us are ever happy with what we do. I didn't have a chance. But I just deal with low serotonin levels in general, I think. But I switched to Wellbutrin for the dopamine because I was hoping that would help my ADHD symptoms without having to take a stimulant, which it does, except it also totally messes with my tolerance. Like, I used to be able to have like a couple drinks and feel a little buzzed and like be good. But like 2 beers, I felt hungover vomiting the next day. And like, I've never dealt with that before. It took me a couple times. Well, the first time I was like, I must just have like a stomach bug. I was like, I did not drink nearly enough for this to be happening right now. But then it happened again. And I was like, okay, I don't get to drink hardly at all anymore. And I'm pretty sure it's the meds. A garden gummy, if you will. It could always be better. Oh, Dana, you're fine. Daniel went to public high school. He's heard it all. Also, weed is very legal in Arizona, so it's... Our brother has been a certified pothead pretty much Daniel's entire life. The last 11 years at least. Dana. Well, I'm glad you're here, Dana. You're very entertaining. I feel like I don't have as many updates tonight because I quite literally have just been working. Like, I've been working my tail off to just try to build some kind of routine that I can stick with and that is creative and fun, and also that gives me lots of things to work on all the time. And right now, everything is a little overwhelming. So I just, like, I haven't done as much fun stuff. And then the surf was so dead for a couple of weeks, we weren't even doing that. Daniel. Dana, our mom will never hear about that. We just don't tell my mom that kind of stuff. She doesn't need to know.
These are not the droids.
No. Marie, I feel like it's really hit or miss here in the US too. Like, it's still totally legal in some places and totally legal in other places. So we just... Same thing with, like, shrooms and, like, other kinds of, like, psychedelics. So we just don't keep anything in the van because we cross too many state lines all the time with how much traveling we do that I just don't want to risk it, especially because Vincent's on a green card. He has permanent resident status, but he has a visa, which can get revoked at any time. So we are extra careful for that reason. We don't want him to accidentally, like, get a felony charge because we're in the wrong state with some gummies. It's ridiculous, in my opinion. Because, you know, drunk drivers don't kill people every day. But sure, let's federally criminalize weed. Dana, good. Finally, it's kicking in the right way. The missile is EP. Have you seen... Did we show you that video? It's very funny. Cat. I'm glad you had a good time. Glad we could be here to witness it. Ah, Marie, I'm so sorry. That's so annoying. I just got a new computer. What is it? Yeah, this year. That can finally do all the things, but I was having a hard time with mine before that too. That's why I stopped streaming for so long. I couldn't do this. And I waited as long as I could, and I just, like, I think that's one reason I stopped doing so much, because my computer just couldn't do anything on it. So I gave up. They're getting a new computer for me to feel excited about doing computer work again, because it would always do stuff like that. Dana. Okay, let's see, what time is it? 9:21. I'm gonna be on until 9:30, and then we have to go, because the park that we're parked at, the beach that we're parked at, the park closes at 10. So we'll have to leave the parking lot before then if we don't want to get a ticket. Okay, Dana, have a good night. Thanks for entertaining us all with your antics. We love you. I do love this park. We're gonna miss it. We have to go... Next stream, I will be down in Carlsbad, California. So we are going to be cat sitting for my aunt and uncle for 12 days. Well, they are in France, in fact. So we'll be heading down the coast about half an hour. Do that for almost 2 weeks, which will be fun. We have 2 cats, so we'll have to split time between their house and our van. But it'll be nice to have a house to hang out in. I'm excited to stream from a house. It's just so much easier. And It'll be good for making Inktober videos in a house. It's just so much easier to film on a table than it is to do it in the van. There's not a lot of space. But we will miss this spot because this spot is great for hanging out all day long. The beach is right here. The bathrooms are right here. There's a free fresh water and dump station right here in the parking lot. So it's extremely convenient for all of us van lifers. It's not as convenient down south to just do stuff in general. All the babies are here. Should we do a goose drop in?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done that yet.
Sleeping.
With Eepy. He's right next to me.
But I will grab him and you will stretch his paw.
No, I will grab him. Don't grab him. I will do it. 'Cause it's easier for me to do. I'm gonna stop here anyway. This is a good timing to stop. Because I am tired. Goose. Goose. Hi, baby. Here is van cat number 1. A big boy. He is a 16-pound monster.
He's a big baby.
He's overweight by a tiny bit because he just loves food and refuses to exercise, but he also is just giant. He's just a big boy.
He's so cuddly though.
He's very sick. Let's see.
Oh.
He's he's huge. He's very cute.
You're so big.
And he has a brother named Earl who's asleep in the box right there. Ugh, cat hair stuck in my face. And Earl! Okay, we'll do a show and tell. Here's Earl. Earl is a long boy too. There's Earl.
Mr. Gremlin.
He does not like being told what to do. Okay, you can go. Yeah, they're both. I think Earl's 15 pounds and Goose is 16 pounds. I don't know what that is in kilograms, but they are very large and in charge. Just tall, like just big tall cats. They're both little. They were little New York City street cat rescues when they were tiny kittens.
Little cat rescues.
They were tiny when they were underweight when they were found at 4 weeks old. Now they're just. I feel like we Clifford them. We fed them really high quality food and gave them lots of love, and they grew huge. We spend a lot on their food now because they just eat a lot of it. Babies? Oh, give me the. I woke him up. He's not happy with me. They're pretty tolerant. They both don't mind being handled. They're real people cats, so they're super friendly. People always want to like come look in the van when they find out we have, especially when they find out we have cats, and they always just come right up and take pets. So I'm glad about that, because that would make van life really hard if they just always ran away. There's nowhere for them to go in a van. Okay. Project is away. Let's see. I will be continuing to post Inktober every day for the foreseeable future till the end of the month. And I have some cross-stitch videos planned. Probably my next YouTube video will be a cross-stitch video because I'm going to try to finish that project in a video and do another like stitch-a-thon kind of a deal. And we should be doing the stream next week as programmed, even though I'll be in a different location. So that is all of the updates. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. I love seeing all of you. I love seeing new faces. It's so much fun to chat with people. This is my favorite thing ever, is just hanging out and doing crafty things with people I love. So thanks for hanging out. We will see you again next time. And I am going to go now so that I can go to bed. So I'll see you guys later.